Hello, today we're looking at expressions that use the word half. A lot of expressions have the word half. You know half, la mitad. That's easy. So half of 20 is 10. I want half a chicken. La mitad. That's easy, easy, easy. Okay? You also know from football, half time. The time in the middle, half time, beep, they blow the whistle, everyone goes, has a cigarette, they all talk to the manager, they come back and play again. Okay? So yes, I know, you know that. Okay. We have more. You don't half do that well. You don't half do that well. So you don't half swim well. You don't half sing well. You don't half play the piano well. You don't. This is a compliment. You're giving someone a compliment. Hey, Ian, you don't half speak Spanish really well. They don't know the truth. Okay, so this is to give someone a compliment. You don't half verb very well. That means you are complimenting. It's good. You don't half listen well. You're going to be a good, yes, you're going to speak very good English. You don't half listen well. You see, you don't half verb. Don't forget the verb. That's the part that you are complimenting them on. What do we have here? And that's not the half of it. And that's not the half of it. I come into your house, you say, oh my God, just getting here today. The trains were cancelled. They told us to wait for a bus. And then when the bus came, the bus was full. And then I couldn't get on because I didn't have any money. And my credit card was... And you say, oh, Ian, you poor thing. I said, no. And that's not the half of it. It means I haven't finished telling you all of the story yet. Maybe you don't want to hear it. And that's not the half of it. It's just to say, and there's more. There's more. But you might prefer, because it's boring. You don't want to tell everybody about your boring day. So you can just stop saying, oh, and that's not the half of it. I'll tell you another day. You got that? And that's not the half of it. There's more. Okay. Now, I put little lines here. This is an expression. There's no way to split this. Cheap at half the price. That is cheap at half the price. Now, it doesn't make sense. This means really cheap. But what it's saying is barato a la mitad del precio. So it doesn't make any sense. But this means it's really, really, really cheap. Now, I can explain why it doesn't. It doesn't matter. The explanation doesn't change. This is the part you have to learn. The explanation is that the old sellers were going, cheap, lo vendo barato, a la mitad de precio. But over the years, they just said, cheap at half the price. So people got used to the expression that cheap at half the price is like an adjective, a way of describing something very, very cheap. So you don't try to translate the words. Translating the words will only confuse you. Just learn that's cheap at half the price. This cheap t-shirt was cheap at half the price. Yep, got it? Good. I've got half a mind to say something. I've got half a mind to go to the school and speak to his teacher. I've got half a mind to. I am inclined to. I have the idea. I've got half a mind to tell him what I think of him. This means I've got a really strong idea in my head that I want to do something. I've got half a mind to verb. Go to the school, go back to the shop, write a letter to whoever and complain. You got half a mind to do something. You are really close to doing it. How are we doing? We're doing okay? Not going too fast? People said to me I go too fast. Is this okay? Good. It's a game of two halves. It's a game. Now, this is a football idiom, but we use it metaphorically. It's a game of two halves. In football, it means, you know, the team can come out. They can be terrible for the first 45 minutes. Then they go away for their cigarette and their orange juice, and they come back and they're completely different. It's a game of two halves because the whole game changed in the second half. Well, we use this for metaphorically for other things where you want to say, hey, this is a game of two halves. We're gonna like in the law courts with a lawyer saying, hey, we're gonna go in and they're gonna say some bad things about you, but this is a game of two halves because I've got some really good things to say about you later in your trial. Or do you understand the idea? So we can say it's a game of two halves to show there's a difference between the first half and the second half, and it's not always the complete story to see one side or the other. It's a game of two halves. Now, the next one is not cut for a reason. What it is bad English. It ain't. It ain't is it is not. It is not. It ain't. I ain't. I am not. This is street English, and the only time I teach street English is in expressions, because nobody's going to understand you if you don't use the expression. So it ain't half hot means, oof, it's really hot. So it's not half hot, it's really hot. It ain't half hot. It ain't half hot. It's really, 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 really hot. And we conjugate it. So it ain't half cold. It ain't half cold. It's not half cold, it's really, really, whoa, it ain't half cold. Whoa, it ain't half cold, it ain't half hot, it ain't half whatever. Yep. It wasn't half hot. So we conjugate, put in the past. Oof, Africa, lovely, but it wasn't half hot. It wasn't half hot. That means it was really hot. It was really hot. It wasn't half difficult. Oh, that exam yesterday morning, it wasn't half difficult. That means it was very difficult. You see how this works? It wasn't half, it was fully difficult, completely difficult, very difficult. They weren't half good. We went to see a singing group, the Silver Beatles. They do Beatles songs. I thought, they're going to be terrible. But they weren't half good. They were very good. They were really good. And finally, we weren't half late. So we can put anything here you want. We can be late, early, tired, hungry, any adjective that you want there. We weren't half late. We got there really late. So there you go. Lots and lots of words using the word half. I'll put a good title on the top. I'll put this on YouTube so you can find this another day in the future and go, oh, I've got time. I'm going to learn all those words, all those expressions that have the word half. That wasn't half interesting, was it? It was very interesting. Have a good night. Bye.